Today, we are following the latest developments in the General Border Committee or GBC meeting between Thailand and Cambodia held in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Now, this is a ministerial level meeting as a part of bilateral mechanism to manage the border situation between the two countries. Now, the substance of this meeting has been under intense discussion at the secretariat level since the 4th of August, and it all boils down to today's ministerial meeting, which has just concluded with a press conference. And here are the main points. Firstly, the ceasefire, which involves all types of weapons, including attacks on civilians, civilian objects of either side. And secondly, there's going to be a team of ASEAN observers that are to be led by Malaysia, and they're called Interim Observer Team or IOT, which comprises of defense attaches, and they will be established separately and independently in Thailand and Cambodia to monitor the implementation of a ceasefire. Now, I've got here the speech by Rear Admiral Surasan Kongsirit, who is the spokesperson of the Ad Hoc Center for Thailand-Cambodian Border Situation.
Regarding the results of the meeting, the GBC, the General Border Committee, Thailand-Cambodia extraordinary session meeting this afternoon. So first he said, members of the press, members of the Thai public watching at home, today I had the honor of co-chairing the extraordinary GBC meeting with His Excellency DSA Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense of Cambodia. This morning I also had the honor of paying courtesy call on His Excellency Dato' Seri Anwar Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, which was joined by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense of Cambodia. The discussion was held in a cordial and friendly atmosphere. The Malaysian Prime Minister welcomed the ceasefire and the positive progress made this round of Thailand-Cambodia GBC discussions, viewing it as an important step towards the implementation of the ceasefire. The Malaysian Prime Minister clearly stated that he had already consulted with other ASEAN states and leaders, and they were in agreement that resolving the Thai-Cambodian border issue in a bilateral manner between Thailand and Cambodia. This position is fully aligned with Thailand's approach. Malaysia's role will be to help facilitate dialogue between the two sides so that they can resolve the issue themselves, with ASEAN offering support as needed. In addition, the Malaysian Prime Minister welcomed the consensus reached by Thailand and Cambodia during this GBC meeting on establishing an interim observer team to be led by the Malaysian Defense Attaché and composed solely of defense attaches from ASEAN member states. The United States and China will not take part but have expressed their support in accordance with what Thailand and Cambodia deem appropriate. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the government and the Ministry of Defense of Malaysia in its capacity as the ASEAN chair for their coordination and facilitation in making this meeting proceed smoothly. The United States and China also attended this meeting as observers, as they did during the special meeting on the 28th of July, represented at the level of ambassador. This GBC meeting was convened to follow up on the issues discussed by the leaders of Thailand and Cambodia in Malaysia on the 28th of July, especially the ceasefire. I pointed out in the meeting that since midnight on the 28th of July, Thailand has fully complied with what was agreed upon by the leaders of both countries regarding the ceasefire. However, it was found that the Cambodian side had continued to violate the ceasefire after midnight on the 28th of July. The Thai side has exercised utmost restraint and responded only in self-defense. While the current situation along the border has become more stable, we note that the Cambodian side continues to deploy additional troops to the area and has operated unmanned aerial vehicles to conduct surveillance over Thai territory. These are provocative actions that could lead to misunderstandings. Moreover, there has been the dissemination of distorted information and disinformation, which is unconstructive and does not help create an atmosphere conducive to dialogue or rebuilding trust. However, from the meeting, the Cambodian side at policy level has shown their sincerity to the ceasefire agreement. the violations of the ceasefire as mentioned prior may be arbitrary acts by the military units in the area. My objective in participating in today's meeting was to engage in a frank and sincere discussion with the Cambodian side to find a way forward for sustaining a ceasefire in the long term and to restore peace and stability to the Thai-Cambodian border. Our ultimate goal is to enable people on both sides of the border to return to their normal lives in peace and security. Let me now summarize the key outcomes of today's meeting. Mutual agreement of both sides. Both sides reaffirm their commitment to a strict ceasefire, which covers all types of weapons and requires both sides to maintain their troops at positions held as of the date the ceasefire commenced, with no further reinforcement. Secondly, both sides agreed to establish an interim observer team composed of defense attachés from ASEAN embassies in Thailand and Cambodia, led by the Malaysian defense attaché in the respective country. The observer team will conduct regular observations in the area without crossing the border and will coordinate closely with the respective RBC and GBC mechanisms in both countries to ensure no ceasefire violations by either party. Thirdly, both sides will refrain from any provocative actions, including military actions or the dissemination of disinformation, to foster an atmosphere conducive to peaceful dialogue. Fourthly, both sides will strictly adhere to international humanitarian law. In the immediate term, this includes the prompt and dignified repatriation of deceased personnel. As for prisoners of war, they will be repatriated immediately after the cessation of active hostilities in accordance with the Third Geneva Convention. I reaffirm that the Thai side has treated these individuals in full compliance with international humanitarian law. And fifthly, both sides will maintain open channels of communication and make use of existing bilateral mechanisms to prevent any incidents from escalating. Follow-up RBC meetings will be convened within 2 weeks to coordinate the implementation of today's outcomes. Another GBC meeting will be held in 1 month's time to monitor progress. I also raised 2 additional important issues. However, the Cambodian side suggested that today's meeting focus mainly on the ceasefire and that these matters be discussed at the next GBC meeting. And these matters include: first, mine clearance cooperation. Landmines were a key factor that caused tensions and led to the use of force. Thailand stands ready to cooperate with Cambodia in clearing landmines in the areas of recent clashes and other affected areas along the border to ensure the safety of people on both sides. And secondly, cooperation on combating transnational crime, especially in tackling online scams, which have seriously impacted the Thai people and other countries across the region. I would like to emphasize that the outcomes we reach today can only be translated into tangible results with genuine cooperation and sincerity from both sides. Thailand remains committed to continuing our engagement in a sincere and constructive manner based on the principles of good neighborliness. I also hope that the Cambodian side will do the same. To this end, Thailand and Cambodia are neighbors that share a common border and cannot move away from each other. We are also members of the same ASEAN family. If both our countries can resolve this issue swiftly, peace will return to our shared border area, and our people will be able to resume their normal lives in peace once again.
So, since the armed clashes at the border between Thailand and Cambodia began on 24th of July, both countries have been working very hard to resolve the conflict. The Malaysian government, as this year ASEAN chair, obviously has been playing a vital role in brokering the deal. And on the 28th of July, Thailand and Cambodia agreed to a ceasefire. Today, both sides are back to follow through on that agreement. Now, however, today, it turns out that the Thai and Cambodian side held separate press conferences. So where do we go from here? The next meeting between the two sides will likely take place within 2 weeks from now, and it will be the regional army level, which is called the RBC or the Regional Border Committee. Then the next GBC meeting will be held in a month from now. You can always stay up to date with news from Thailand and the region in English with Thai PBS World.